Buddy Robin here from Courage is the Cure. Welcome to episode 58 of Rise. This morning we're going to be talking about Anthony Albanese's life threatened and the dangerous rhetoric that he's addressing at the moment. Alrighty, I will see you all in a jiffy.
Strength of a woman world on her shoulders. Fight through the noise when the world gets colder. 832, got the grit, got the fire. Watch her rise, watch her come higher.
Alrighty, greetings everybody. Welcome to episode 58 of Rise. It is the 10th of October 2025, and today we're going to be talking about the dangerous rhetoric, that Anthony Albanese is trying to, I don't know, address. Let's say that. Let's be kind. Let's be kind this morning. Thank you all for joining me. A special hello to everybody on YouTube today. We are streaming to YouTube today. Hello to Mr. Ree over there. I see you are already here. Lovely to see you here. Absolutely fantastic. So yes, today we're going to be talking about the threat to Anthony Albanese's life, the political rhetoric that, as I mentioned, Anthony is addressing, his stand against violence, and it's not just recent stand against violence. This has been going on for months and months and months and months, as we will see. Is he in fact fueling division, and is it? We're going to talk about, analyse and explore, is it really a potential to move Australia further towards digital control? But yes, thank you to everybody on Buy Me a Coffee and all the other ways that people support Courage is the Cure. I am 100% independent, and that is because I'm 100% crowdfunded. So thank you to everybody who supports Courage is the Cure that way. I can already see on Fascist Book, Courage is the Cure, that they are hiding this episode. So if you are actually watching, congratulations. And can you share it, please? Because it is being hidden. Alrighty, it is Friday. Hello, Leander. How you going? It is Friday, and last week we had a real relief show because the world was just so crazy. I thought we needed some comedic relief. And we actually did hear from the We Do Not Care Club. Do you remember that? And we had some suggestions. Hello, Alana. We had some suggestions to add to the We Do Not Care Club. And in particular, I remember there was one from Stifler's mum that she wanted to add to the list. So we've got an update from, was it Melissa from the We Do Not Care Club, or Melanie? I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name. We've got an update. There's another update from the We Do Not Care Club, and this one is, I thought, especially, they must have heard Stifler's mum. So before we get on to talk about this dangerous rhetoric from Anthony Albanese, we are going to have a little bit of real relief. And this is the new addition to the We Do Not Care Club. So here we go. Special shout out to
all new and existing members of the We Do Not Care Club. I started this club for all women in perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. We are putting the world on notice that we simply just do not care much anymore. Let's go ahead and get started with today's announcements. We do not care if when we laugh, we pee a little bit. We do not care if you have called us 3 days in a row now. Let us call you. We do not care if we have to go to therapy weekly. You are probably the reason we are there. We do not care if we are looking for our glasses and they are on our face. Be careful how you let us know that information. We do not care if we are sleeping next to a pile of clean clothes. They will get folded when our mental health is better. We do not care that we bought a new pair of fancy dress shoes and have nowhere to wear them. They look cute on our feet and they make us happy. We do not care if the veins in our legs look like road maps. If we're lost, we'll use them. We do not care if we were in bed for 10 hours. We only slept for 3 of those hours. Today is not the day. This concludes our announcements for our new and existing members of the We Do Not Care Club. Please post what we do not care about today in the comments so that I can add those to our list. Thank you.
So there we go, everybody. Stifler's mum, for anybody that was watching last week. Which one was it that was included this week? Fantastic. Hello, Joanne. How are you? Another one of my wonderful, wonderful supporters. Thank you so much. You're amazing. So We Do Not Care Club. Any additions? We shall see. Alrighty, so let's move on with the show. I want to try and get through this. I don't know, is this going to be an ear bleeding, eyeball scratching episode? Do we have a soundbite here? What have we got here? We've got a screaming man. We've got a boo. And this one I'm dying to use at some point in time.
I want to be ninja. I want to be ninja.
So there we go, everybody. We've got some sound bites ready to go. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Hello, Anne. All right, everybody. So this isn't the first time that I've spoken about Anthony Albanese and violence, which he wants to try and address, this scourge of violence. And for the past 12 months, it's been gendered violence, right? And back in June 29th, actually, I did a show. Let's remove that. I did a show of Rise called Albanese Angle, Gendered Violence, Digital Control Rebranded. That was on the 29th of June. That's episode 40 of Rise. You can go along to Robin's Hood on Rumble and watch that episode. And I went through a whole bunch of videos where Anthony Albanese has been addressing gendered violence in Australian society, when in actual fact, it's my conspiracy allegedly that it is digital control rebranded. And so this is, I guess, the next instalment here in regards to dangerous rhetoric. And is it actually further move to digital control in Australia? So what's happened this week? What's happened this week? So we're going to screen the share. Look at us go on a Friday. We're screening the share already. We're going to have a look at a newspaper article, and this is the ABC. The ABC's fun, aren't they? The ABC's fun. We do like the ABC. And we've all discovered this week that there was a threat, a death threat to our Prime Minister here in Australia, Mr. Anthony Albanese's life. So the headline reads, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese calls for political temperature to be turned down after alleged death threat. So this was from Monday, the 6th of October, the start of this week. The caption under the photo there says, Anthony Albanese said the level of threats had elevated substantially. And of course, he went on in the media to say that he's had to adjust his public appearances and all these sorts of things. I think that's just a way for him to not appear in front of the public, because as we have seen, particularly through the campaign, the federal election campaign, whenever he was actually in public, either he wasn't interested in addressing the public's questions, or just like Justin Trudeau from Canada and a few other reprobates, people were booing him and not really appreciating Anthony Albanese's presence. So I don't know, is this just another way that Anthony Albanese can justify his, lack of absence, getting out there amongst the public uh, who he alleges that he cares about. So Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is calling for the political temperature to be turned down after a Queensland man was charged for allegedly threatening to kill him. We do have a name. Norman Dean Lake was arrested at a property north of Brisbane on Saturday after allegedly using social media to make a threat on Anthony Albanese's life. He had been charged with one count of using a carriage service to make a threat to kill. This offence carries a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. Mr. Anthony Albanese declined to go into the specifics of the case with the matter before the court. So that's what happened at the start of the week in regards to this call for political temperature to be turned down because somebody threatened Anthony Albanese's life. Nobody's life should be threatened, but I would suggest, just like I have previously when Anthony Albanese has been talking about gendered violence, that actually it's just digital control rebranded. And let's remember, these people never let a good opportunity or crisis go to waste. So perhaps this awful threat on PM's life is another opportunity which they're not going to waste. Alrighty, everybody, we've got a few comments. Let me catch up because I haven't been clicking on them. Hello, Willow the Wisp 55. You got a blue bee there. That's nice. Hello, Mark. How are you? Albosh doesn't feel safe driving in his car. I will have to check my message. I did see that, Mark. I was rather busy yesterday, but I will get around to it. Australia's biggest. See you next Tuesdays. If I thought about it, I know I'll get it. You reap what you sow. There we go. Leander, the ABC forgot to mention that it was an Aboriginal man. Oh, really? That threatened Elbow. Funny that. Not sure why he's worried, as he's rarely in Australia. Yes, well, he's only just made his way back after addressing the UN Assembly in America. That was fun, wasn't it? Took Annika Wills with him. Ben, read the room, Elbow. Yeah, I don't think he's able to do that. I think we'll see a few of those. Hello, Robert. And yes, you're another person that I have to message back as well. Nice to see you here. Right, so let's move on from that. So that's what's inspired this, resurgence again in corporate media about turning down the how did he put it? Turning down the political temperature. Oh yes, wonderful. Okay, fantastic. Alrighty, so we are going to. Did I download this video? Yes, I did. So this was press conference that Albanese gave. We're going to pause it. And if I'm not mistaken, it was either yesterday or today that he gave this press conference. And I've downloaded this from Australians versus the Agenda on X. Go along and follow them if you aren't. Great X page. So as we go through this video, I'm going to stop and start it. And we've got 3 videos that I have put together in the past, short form videos that I've put together in the past for various reasons. And I want to show them to explore and analyse this political rhetoric that needs to be turned down through these previous videos that I've actually put together. Alrighty, so let's get cracking. Ain't nobody got time for sitting around watching this person all day. But let's get cracking with this. Here we go. This is Anthony Albanese.
Well, one of the things we need to do is to turn down the temperature on debate. I've said that. Media have a role in that as well. These are obviously the issues before the court, so I'm not going to make any comments on the specific, but you wouldn't be surprised that I'm very concerned by the revelations which are out there publicly. And, we see events overseas where there is violence towards elected officials, or violence towards anyone is a bad thing to occur. And we just need to turn down the temperature, have respect for people, have respect for the capacity of us to have debates and discourse and have difference whilst having respect for each other. And that's something that I've tried to bring.
So he's just there. We need to be able to have respectful debate. We need to be able to, embrace our differences, all these sorts of things. Let's pause that there and let's just put up on the stage a video that I made, Miss Jackie Lambie, and I made this video on the 27th of August because, like many of our parliamentarians, they get up there in Canberra in that place and use particular language, which I would suggest is fueling division. It enables the corporate media to incite division, tension, violence, and hatred within the Australian community. So, good morning, Hansie. This is from the 27th of August with Jackie Lambie. Now, let's remember, Albo was talking about having respect, being able to embrace our differences, so on and so forth.
So-called sovereign citizens, I'll call it, because I have the courage. And then COVID-19 hit. And the government's response, lockdowns, mandatory vaccination combined with mis and disinformation on social media, absolutely turbocharged the paranoia where it's now right off the charts. According to the AFP, these groups are organised, they have informal leadership structures, and they find common ground with the anti-vaxxers, far-right groups and conspiracy nut jobs, because there's no other way to put it. Far-right groups and conspiracy nut jobs, because there's no other way to put it. That is the reality of it, and we need to wake up in here, because people are getting harmed because of it.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go.
Well, that was nice, wasn't it, from Jackie? That was really lovely. Her face when she wants to call people these things, I mean, her eyes, look at that. Oh, golly gosh. Eh? Cup a load of that, everybody. So is this... I'm having to shout because the rooster is being so loud. Is this the respect that Anthony Albanese was just talking about in his press conference? Hey? Is this the debate and respecting people's differing opinions that he was just talking about in regards to turning down the political temperature? Okay? And we know, we've seen all of these videos, as I mentioned, of our elected parliamentarians in that place using divisive language, fueling particular narratives, and yet the absolute gall of somebody like Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia, getting up there and saying, somebody's threatened my life. We need to turn down the political temperature with this dangerous rhetoric. Hey? And we have people like this using language like that, encouraging the general public to hold certain views. And how do they do that? Because they employ the services of the megaphone for the government, the corporate media. She's going to burst a woofer valve. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Oh, Mark, that stare would kill a kitten in 10 days. You're not wrong there, Mark. You're not wrong there. Absolutely. I mean, these are the examples we have of people who are paid to do a job in that place. I mean, it's just astounding. All right, so let's continue on with the video. We're not all the way through the press conference yet. So let's keep going. So that was an example of having respect and being able to debate, even when you have differing views and all those sorts of things, right? Got it? There we go. All right, let's add Albanese to the stage.
Discourse in this country, the security issues that I face are far more acute than 10 years ago, 5 years ago, certainly a lot more acute than when I was first elected.
Yeah, why do you think there are security issues? It's not because Australians are violent psychopaths. It's because they're unhappy with the government. I mean, what did Ben say before? Read the room, Elbow. Anyway, sorry.
And I just say that, the role of social media people being able to
Here we go. The role of social media, people being able to
say things that they'd never say to your face, is something I've spoken about regularly. And there's no place for violence. There's no place for violent discourse either, because we can't normalise these sort of threats being made.
We can't normalise these sort of threats being made, but the parliamentarians in Canberra sure are normalising this Australia-wide view of people who are disquiet about the government. And what do the parliamentarians do? Use pejoratives and use the media to spread their nonsense.
And think that that is business as usual, because what we know is that it does lead to real tragedy.
So he's making a connection between the role of social media, no place for violence. We do know that it what? Has its part to play in tragedy and what?
And we've seen as well, I had to attend the funeral of police officers here in Brisbane with the so-called sovereign citizens issue here, Victoria, the Cook government in WA have.
So the Cook media in WA. I should have inserted the video that I made about the sovereign citizens as well. Maybe I'll include that one after this sovereign citizen video that I've made. He's just made a reference to WA. I'll let him finish his sentence.
Taken some really strong actions as well in taking weapons off people who don't acknowledge the rule of law.
So he's talking about the guns being confiscated because the Australian police force has deemed certain people unfit to hold a firearm because they have hold sovereign citizen ideologies, making social media posts about immigration and vaccination. And there's big news stories in particular about common law sheriffs that have had their guns removed because they what? Apparently sovereign citizens, so on and so forth. But he expressly talks about Western Australia there, and of course, all the violent sovereign citizens with guns, and praise Waypol for removing them. So let's have a look what Anthony Albanese again said during the federal election campaign. This was from the 7th of April, a video I put together when Albanese rocked up in Western Australia to spruik the new candidates in Western Australia who were running. This is Anthony Albanese talking about the people in Western Australia. Here we go.
all sorts of strange people with some very far-right views. There was a candidate every week going out. Roger Cook it's hard for him to keep up during the state election. Goodness knows who they're running in the federal election. Goodness knows who they're running in the federal elections.
So in WA, there's a whole load of weird people, hey? So, once again, using the corporate media to spread these divisive language. He's adding to you can see how they build a narrative, especially when it comes to Western Australia. That was back in April and saying, who knows what they're doing in Western Australia? There's a whole bunch of weird people over there. Even Roger Cook doesn't know it's blah, blah, blah. And they build the narrative so that now we're in what? We're in October of 2025, and oh god, WA full of weird people. No wonder there's all those crazy sovereign citizens over there. We've got to remove all their guns, hey? No wonder. I'm just going to have a quick look for the sovereign citizen video that I made. Let me just see if I can find it. Is this the one that I made? Let's see if this is it.
It was the scene of a deadly shooting and marked a turning point in Australia's understanding of domestic extremism. 2 police officers and a neighbour were murdered in a premeditated ambush by Gareth, Nathaniel and Stacey Train. Some of the people we spoke to for this story described the Trains almost like martyrs for the freedom movement.
After the shooting, Queensland Police and ASIO said the Train family were not sovereign citizens. It highlights a problem with trying to divide people into narrow groups when they seem to be part of one common cause. If authorities fail to recognise a broader definition of anti-government extremism, they could miss the true extent of this evolving movement.
So, let's turn that down, everybody. So that's a video I made after we had the Four Corners lawfare video coming out, trying to put everybody under the same umbrella. Why are they trying to say, just like Jackie Lambie in the video that I made was saying, trying to make that connection also with sovereign citizens, that anti-vaxxers are part of that group and all these sorts of things. You can see the narrative that they've spent months and months and months creating, right? I mean, it's so obvious what they're doing. It's just so obvious. All right, so let's put Anthony Albanese. I know, Ben. WA has a lot of weirdos. Gee whiz, hadn't noticed. No, I must be one of those people. Let's put Anthony Albanese back up on the stage. So we've had him talk about respect, differences, a lot of crazy people in WA going to take their guns off and full of sovereign citizens, all this sort of stuff. Media's not being employed to, continue the narrative, incite, Violet's horrible views, all these sort of things. No, don't worry about that, everyone. Here we go.
In this country, and I just say that, I've had to adjust some of my activity. One of the great things about this country is that I could go to a shopping centre in Sunnybank during the election campaign. I could do walkthroughs right throughout southeast Queensland and engage with people. We don't want to lose that.
Yeah, so engaging with people. We don't want to remove that, hey? And referencing his election campaign, how he got out there amongst the people. Hey, shall we have another look at another video that I made during the election campaign? Well, we're going to screen the share for this one to my X page so that we can read the caption that I had put along with this post as well. So we can see this when did I upload this? The 30th of June, 2025. So I'd written opinion. For over a year, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has been connecting the dots between violence against women and his push for stricter social media regulations. It is my belief that this is not a genuine stand against gendered violence, but a convenient narrative to justify digital control. Shall we have a look at violence? Because let's not forget, particularly the left, want to say that words are violence. Well, if that is in fact true, and we need to, what was it, Anthony? Turn the temperature down on the political temperature. Can you please explain your behaviour? I'd really like to know. Here we go. I made this in June.
What is going on with young men and
It's just bullshit, right?
boys being exposed to graphic material which does not promote healthy relationships?
Ballarat, on point of order.
Thank you.
My husband,
Yeah. You sit down, Buffett. You sit down. Healthy relationships.
It's just bullshit, right?
So there we go, everybody. We've got I'll stop screening the share. Anthony was talking about getting out there amongst the election. We don't want to stop Anthony Albanese engaging with people. We can see he was pushing that poor lady away. Do we all remember that? Do we remember that? The violence, and we have, our parliamentarians display despicable behaviour in that place in Canberra. Buffhead, smash her, hey? Oh, they're real examples of the way Australian society should be, and we're just all so violent, aren't we? So violent that we've got to take everybody's guns off us because everyone's what sovereign citizen? Ben's comment: I don't believe in sovereign citizens. The leprechauns make more sense. Well, it's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it? Kind of an oxymoron. Hi, Martin. Totalitarianism dies when we stop asking them for permission. Exactly. And just rude, exactly. Yep. The crime minister. Hello, a dingo ate me baby. I always say a baby ate me dingo, but great title there. The crime minister. Yes, I like that. Okay, shall we finish off with Elbow's speech? Let's add him back to the stage.
As Prime Minister, I don't want to be told I can't engage in a normal way with people and just meet people at random without preparation. I think that's a good thing. I quite like being able to have a beer even at the Caxton Hotel wearing a Blues scarf on the way to a State of Origin game. That's a good thing about this country. Let's not lose it.
Let's not lose it, everybody. Yes, Julie, remember when they stopped social coherence with the pandemic? Exactly. That's right. I don't know what's going on with my hair today. It's such a mess. Anyway, who cares? Poor Diddums. Exactly. Boo. Thank you for reminding me about the sound buttons. Yes, Albo. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you for reminding me about that. It's a new function. See, I forgot all about it. Just ridiculous. He doesn't want to lose that getting out with the public and all these sorts of things. We've got him pushing people away during the campaign. We've got even before he was PM. Smash her. Sit down, buffet. All this sort of stuff. So this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Where we have this threat. Hello, YouTube, the Ford Freak one. How you going? This absolute nonsense. Let's screen the share one more time to the ABC article so that we can see, what they're pushing at the moment. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese calls for political temperature to be turned down after alleged death threat. You know what? This political rhetoric, the political temperature that needs to be turned down is part of the narrative. Part of the narrative where Anthony wants to make a stand against violence, and we've been able to see over the past 12 months that there's been a concerted effort for him to stand against gendered violence. Well, now it's violent words, violence on social media in particular against parliamentarians and threat to their lives so they can't get out there and do their job anymore, and all these sorts of things. And I think it's very important that his passing comments of him saying that the role of social media is important. There's no place for violence, and that social media has a role to play. I don't think we should be dismissive of those sweeping comments from Albanese, because it's not the first time that he's said, social media allows people to say things they wouldn't ordinarily say to your face, and all these sorts of things. Because ultimately, just like I said back in June when I was talking about gendered violence being digital control being rebranded, I think this is another addition to the narrative, another piece of the puzzle, if you like, for the move to control the digital space. And we've got the under 16 on social media ban, all these sorts of things, digital ID, all that, so on and so forth. It is my conspiracy, allegedly, that indeed not letting this opportunity go to waste, where Anthony Albanese's life has been threatened and a man has been put in jail and not given bail, to use this as well as another part of that narrative, another piece of the puzzle, to move to control the digital space, and hence what? Move to control the Australian people. That's what I would assert this morning through the recent developments of the threat against Anthony Albanese, and looking back on the videos that I've created this year with people like Jackie Lambie, the language that they use through the election campaign and all these sorts of things, the actions of our Prime Minister. I think the rhetoric actually that our elected parliamentarians are using and continue to use fuel this division, and a kind of problem reaction solution scenario where everybody is now believing social media is the problem, no place for violence. How are we going to solve it? Public's going to go, well, of course we've got to do something about social media. So that's my conspiracy, allegedly. Just another move to control the digital space. Leander, all he and government has been violent towards the people since 2020. Albo Abdul is carrying it through. Hello, Leah. How are you going? Fantastic to see you here. So that's my thoughts, everybody. Nobody wants their life threatened. But I do suspect that this is being used as another part of the narrative to control our digital space, and hence control the freedoms of all Australians. That's for sure. Alrighty, everybody. Very exciting about the 40-hour podcast that's coming up. There's going to be a lot of things coming out very soon in regards to that. We're all doing lots and lots of different things, getting all of that organised, so on and so forth. Really looking forward to that. Lisa, I feel threatened by the government. Exactly. I know. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I just, it really annoys me, especially when we have, Anthony up there doing these press conferences.
Turn down.
Like this, turn down the turn down the rhetoric, the dangerous rhetoric. It infuriates me because the media have got to know. I mean, these people are so silly. They're literally being used as tools to further these disgusting creatures' agenda, you know. And then when I see, another press conference by the Prime Minister again, pushing this narrative, and they're shifting it now, which is interesting too. They're shifting it now. They've done the gendered violence, I think, as much as they can. I think they've probably done it 90%. They've probably got a few more tricks up their sleeve to further the gendered violence. But they've got to turn the temperature up to, influence the public's Australia view about violence and the role of social media. So how are they going to turn the temperature up? That is by, who's the top person in Australia that you can threaten? Well, we've already had all the females in Parliament. Even Katie Gallagher was out there saying women just don't feel safe. They've already had the women on there saying that they've been threatened. Well, who's the top one? Well, they've got to turn the temperature up, so now they'll take advantage of this opportunity to say, well, the man with the top job in Australia has been threatened. I mean, you can't get any more threatening than that, can you? So the dire situation when the Prime Minister's being threatened, so they're actually dialing it up clearly themselves to further this agenda to control everybody, especially in the digital space. So that's just my conspiracy, allegedly, everybody. There we go. Hello, devil. It's all a clown show. The real power comes from a synagogue or a local Kabbalah centre. Ray from Down Under. We, the live and present, are already wage slaves in the corporate structure thanks to the Australia Act. Can't say things like that, you know? You're part of the problem, I would say. Anthony Albanese would make assertions to people like you. But there we go, everybody. Ben, Elbow is cowering behind Karen's petticoats. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Well, everybody, thank you very much for joining me today. Please go along to Rumble. All of the Rise episodes live on my second channel, which is called Robin's Hood. And have a watch of episode 40, which is this one, Albanese Angle, Gendered Violence, Digital Control Rebranded. There you'll see all the videos of the females in Parliament getting out. Yep, whoops, just did. All of the females that they roll out and, talk about violence and all these sorts of things. Go along and watch that on Robin's Hood. That's my second channel on Rumble. Hello, Pilo. Is it China behind globalism or is it the Zionists? Yes, I don't know. Can I say that word? We're on YouTube today. Is that one of those algorithmic triggering words? Not sure. Sure about that. Richard, it's the government side with the sheepos that's doing the violence on us. Remember the shrine? And we never even retaliated. Yeah, exactly. I know. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Anne. It is Friday. Shall we It's fantastic. Absolutely. Is there? Is there? No, no, I was just looking at my sound bites. I'm gonna have to go through and put a couple more up there for today. Alrighty, everybody. It is Friday today, so we are going to end the show here today. Thank you all very much for joining me. I wish you all a wonderful weekend, and at this stage, I do find press conferences and Senate estimates. And other entertaining viewing as just that, entertainment, because we do have the goat here. Yes, we'll have to do that one because so many people. Oh no, I don't have the goat, but that is yes. Is the screen there? Yeah, no, that's not a goat, is it? They're really doubling down. They're doubling down. I mean, they're triple, quadruple doubling down. This is why we're seeing this, because they know that people are catching on, and they're panicking. They're panicking. So I do see all of the corporate media press conferences, all these sorts of things, the ad campaign, all these sort of things as entertainment, because their efforts to silence us and control us are becoming so blatant that you just have to laugh. Thank you, Leah. Yes, you too. Make sure you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy yourself, whatever you're doing. We've got beautiful spring weather here in Perth today. Absolute fantastic, beautiful picnic weather. Make sure you stay relentless, even though this is Rise. But stay relentless. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you all very soon. Right. See you.
Strength of a woman.